and another chance for the family to gather together and enjoy conversation and laughs. If you guys are here for the first time, anyone brand new, raise your hand. I can't see you, I'm just kidding. It is just a fun opportunity every Saturday for the people who gather around the. Oops, wait a minute. I gotta turn the audio off here. I have a laptop sitting here. Mama Curb should be joining us hopefully at some point, and she's going to be sitting here reading some of the things from the chat on the laptop. So let me finish my statement. The live show every Saturday morning is a fun opportunity for, I think I already said that, didn't I? Got distracted by the audio. It's just a good time to be here on Saturdays. Thank you for joining us. Thank you to my moderators who are here. That's those in the chat with their name is in blue with a little wrench. They're helping to keep this show running smoothly and family friendly. So thank you very much to those of you who are helping out. And welcome to everyone who's here. It's just a good time. So I want to try something new this morning. Maybe it's goofy, but I think it'll be fun. Like I said, I believe that every person has a story. Everyone has a story, and every story counts. And it counts because you matter. Your story matters. You matter. So I want to try something. Put your hand on your chest. Follow with me. Put your hand on your chest. Sit up straight. Put your shoulders up. Everybody doing it? And repeat after me. I matter. My story matters. That's it. Just a short thing. But what that does, it gives, let me tell you initially, I've told you guys already before, but every story matters. Everyone has a story and every story matters. Every story counts. I've said matters and counts. Kind of the same thing. That came from me giving me permission to share my story, because I have in my life and certainly on my YouTube channel dealt with lack of confidence, like believing people don't really want to hear what I have to say. I kind of want to share it, but I don't think people want to hear it. But that's craziness. That's just negativity speaking to me, and I don't want that. So at this point, I want to just every time I get on camera believe that my story matters. And I want you to believe the same thing, because you matter. And I'm glad you're here with me. Thanks, Ronald. I'm drinking my chai tea this morning. You guys were talking about coffee this. Hey, Amy made it in the house. Amy Quillen, a friend, thank you for showing up. My chai tea is wonderful, but I do miss drinking coffee. You guys are talking about coffee here in the show, the chat early on before the show started. And Mama Curbs brews coffee. She still drinks coffee, and it smells so good, but I can't drink it. So anyway, here's to chai tea with honey and cream. All right. Now, so my story matters. And the story this week on the live show includes pumpkins, these guys, and kombucha. So I'm not going to necessarily chat a lot about, intricate questions and answers, unless you want to. But I want to share some projects with you, some things that are going on here in the house. And, yeah, hey, Carl, the whole introvert thing, I feel you, because I wanted to, by the way, I just read some of the chat, and my brother Carl is on. He says he doesn't want to do a live show because he's too much of an introvert. And I understand that. I think our whole family is pretty much the same. And I really, many times, wonder, why did I ever start sharing on camera? And because I would never, in my life, I have never wanted to get up in front of people and talk. And every time I've ever had to do that, it's a disaster. I'm terrible on stage. Hopefully, I would be a little better now than when I was younger. But hey, I'll answer the glasses question in a minute. But getting in front of people is just a miserable experience for me. But I also have things that I want to share. I have passion. Everybody has something that they're passionate about. I would say most people have something they're passionate about. And I really want to share that. So this started, most of you know, maybe you don't, maybe you don't. Let me not assume anything. So way back in 2010, before we moved out to the farm, I had an aquaponics system that I had set up in the backyard of our suburban neighborhood. And I had already been on YouTube. Hey, Ronald, for the squirrel, the first squirrel of the day for any upcoming tragedy on Daddykirbs Farm. Thank you. Thank you very much. Who knows? Maybe these glasses will break and I'll have to replace them. I'll tell you the glasses story in a minute. But let me get back to in the backyard of our suburban neighborhood. I had built this aquaponics system, and prior to that, I had already been on YouTube and shared a couple of family videos. You can go way back. If you go way back in my channel, you can, I just got a notification, distracted me there. You can look at some of those early videos. There's some of the kids and doing, dirt bike riding and goofing off, rolling down a hill in a barrel. That was silly. That was Espen, by the way. And so anyway, I thought I kind of want to share this aquaponics system on YouTube because I want other people to see. I really enjoyed building that system. And I thought it was working well. It was kind of a fun contraption. And I wanted to share it. So I did. I put that video on YouTube. And quite honestly, I didn't think anyone was going to watch it. But I wanted to share it anyway. And to my surprise, people did watch it. It wasn't a lot. Actually, at this point, it has quite a few views. But at that time, I noticed maybe I had a few hundred views on the video. And I was just like, wow, people are interested. And there were some positive comments on there. And it was a fun experience for me. And in that video, my face wasn't in it. It was just me pointing the camera at the system and talking about what it was. But it was just a really fun thing for me to experience sharing my passion and someone responding to that. So that kind of all started. That's the video that I consider to be my first Daddykirbs video. So even though my channel's a little older, I consider that video in 2010 to be the first Daddykirbs videos. And then after that, I tried a few more. Some failed, some did okay, but that started the journey for me. So I believe that everyone has something that they can share. Not everyone has to share it online, but sharing your story with someone is a way to connect, a way to build community, a way for us to understand each other. So how's that for a distraction? I meant to talk about pumpkins and kombucha. Hey, Mama Kirbs in the house.
I gotta run Brax to the vet.
Oh, dog's going to the vet?
They had the only appointment at 9:30, so I gotta take off. I want to say hi.
Well, thanks for popping in the show. Love you.
Love you too. Did you know today is December the 1st?
December the 1st?
24 more days till Christmas.
Woohoo! We haven't even decorated yet.
I know.
We still have pumpkin sitting around. All right, let's see here. I have, I guess I can just close the laptop since Mama Kirbs is not going to be here.
Maybe Adam will come in.
Maybe.
Brax.
All right, so I'll try to keep up with the chat here on screen. So Carl, I notice you say you have things that you're thinking about sharing about the school gardens and the backyard pollinators in the Mojave Desert. That would be really, really cool. I would love to see that. By the way, your package that your green stock system, the 4-stock, remember that, is in a box in my living room, and it should go to the post today, hopefully, fingers crossed, and we'll get that sent out to you. All right, pumpkins or kombucha? What are we talking about first? Pumpkins or kombucha? First person. Pumpkins or kombucha? The first one to say pumpkins or kombucha, that's going to be what we talk about first. Waiting for your... There it is! Pine City Apiary with pumpkins. Kombucha was a quick second by Amy Quillen, but we're going to do pumpkins first. And so we're talking about pumpkins because our house, our yard and our house, our kitchen is full of pumpkins. And why? Why would it be full of pumpkins? That's an interesting question. I'm glad you asked. Well, we're working on a video. And the video, the premise of the video, by the way, you guys, is the lighting good? Because I have one of my lights that my patrons purchased for me is on to help illuminate, and I think it looks pretty good. And I'm very grateful for my patrons that they can support me monthly, helping me get the equipment that I need to make this show even better. Like right now, the tripod, the microphone, the lights, you guys have done this. Oh, the glasses story? Hold on a second. Let me talk about the pumpkins. The reason we have so many pumpkins going on in the house is we're working on a video, and the premise of that video is in the last pumpkin video that I made where I was showing puree and all those things, several people in the comments had said, are all of those different pumpkins orange on the inside? Are they all the same? And then my daughter even asked the question, are they, I can't remember exactly her whole question, but it was, are they all orange? Do they all taste the same? Basically just asking about the differences in the variety of pumpkins. Because if you go back and look at that previous pumpkin video, there's green ones and white ones and dark red ones and, you know, big ones and little ones and all kinds of different shapes and colors of pumpkins. And so, I was reading, you know, this is hard for me. I have to maintain a thought and read your comments at the same time. That's really difficult. If I were chewing gum, I'd be a mess. I'd be a mess. I wouldn't be able to do this. By the way, if you don't know, there is a saying that my mom and dad used to say all the time to us. You wouldn't know this, but they said they would refer to us a lot of times that we can't walk and chew gum at the same time. Multitasking. I do need Kate. You're right. Kate's at home this morning. She had some things going on at the house, so she is moderating from home inside Kate's kitchen. So thank you, Kate, for joining us from your location. But it is nice to have somebody. Sean, the glasses. Okay. All right. So you guys want to know about the glasses. I did end up buying glasses. Last week, there was an army of squirrels armed with resources to help me buy glasses. And I did. They're not here yet. So the story of these glasses, that's an interesting story. Now, see, you guys are confusing me. Now you want me to talk about pumpkins. I will. This is a quick story. So I was going without glasses. It was miserable because I like to be able to see things. I like details. I'm an artist, and I like to be able to see colors and shapes and all that stuff. And so it was not easy enough for me to just walk around without glasses. And I thought, I think I have spare glasses, but I can't find them. I looked all over the place for my spare glasses. I thought, well, maybe we donated, because at one point we donated glasses. You know, you go to the shops and you can put your old glasses in, and they clean them up and they give them to other people who can't afford glasses. So that's what we did. We donated a bunch of glasses because I had a pile of, you know, from the last 20 years. And so I thought, no, I think I still have glasses somewhere. Well, I looked and looked, couldn't find them. Finally, I said, hey, Mama Kirbs. I don't really call her Mama Kirbs when we're here, but I said, don't I have glasses? She said, yes. And she walked right in and found them. So I'm guessing that our household here on the farm is not the only household where the mama is the only one that can find anything. Yeah. Well, that happened. So she found my old glasses. These are spare glasses that I've only worn a few times because I've only worn them when other glasses were, you know, broken or in transition or whatever. So here they are, the interim glasses, until I get the glasses that the squirrels paid for. All right, back to pumpkins. So we're working on this video where it's all about pumpkins, and it is an answer to the question in the comments: are they all orange inside? Are they all the same? So I thought, well, wouldn't it be fun if we took all the different varieties of pumpkins that we have, which there was. I actually have a list here. Hold on. So I have all the seeds from these pumpkins here, and I wrote down on here sort of the description. I don't know the names of the pumpkins yet, and but I did write down the description of the pumpkins. So I have the white pumpkins, which is sort of a Cinderella-looking pumpkin. A bumpy orange pumpkin. It looks like a traditional orange pumpkin with warts all over it. A red pumpkin. It's not really red, but it's a very, very dark orange. The green pumpkin. And then I have the big orange and green sort of mottled collar pumpkin. The regular orange pumpkin. And the pink pumpkin. So now what I have sitting in front of me, let's see, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 7 bags of seeds. They have water in them because I'm soaking the slime off of them. But the pumpkins. Okay, back to the video. In the video, I'm showing the color of the pumpkin, the texture of the thickness and texture of the skin and the rind and the flesh, how many seeds, not individually counting them, but pile of seeds. Basically, I want to see the different pumpkins, and I tried to use pumpkins that were all generally the same size. How many seeds comes out of that? And then I thought, after I show everyone what the seeds look like, the flesh looks like, and you know how tough or is the rind. Then once we were doing it, I thought, well, it would be even cool if we could cook each pumpkin, and then it would end up with a puree, 7 different purees, and I can talk about the color and texture and flavor of each of those 7 pumpkins. So I think it's going to be a fun video. Mama Kirbs thought it was fun. She was helping me record the video. She thought it was fun. So hopefully more than 400 people. Sorry about that. Sorry about that. We lost connection time there. Hopefully that does not happen again. Were you guys back there streaming videos? All right. Okay. So Mama Kirbs thought that would be a fun video to do, and it was, like I said, answering the question. When you guys respond to me in comments, I do read those. I don't always reply to every single comment, but I read those and I consider what you're saying. Sometimes it's just encouraging to me. Sometimes it's a comment where you're asking me to consider doing a different video or answer a question, and I do. Every time I read those and I consider every comment. Some of them get deleted. Not yours. Not yours, but some of them do. Put pumpkin slime in your drink? Really? Who does that? Not me, because maybe you could make pumpkin kombucha. Perhaps. So kombucha is... All right, I'll answer the bee question, Xavier. The bees are same as last week. It's true. They're just hanging out. It's, it's cold, it's windy, it's overcast most days. Hanging out. It's, it's cold, it's windy, it's overcast most days, and I can't get into the hives on days like that. Now, yesterday would have been a great day to go into the beehives because it was gorgeous. Texas came back yesterday. It pushed winter aside and Texas showed up. It was a really, really... Holy moly, what is going on here? That's a big squirrel. Since you're fresh out of squirrels, the squirrels... I'm building an army of squirrels. You guys are helping me. Thank you very much. The music well, that is super generous. I appreciate you being a friend and follower of the Daddykirbs Farm. It's just always refreshing to see that you guys are here with me, supporting me. If you don't know, the squirrel super chat money goes into the same account that the AdSense account with YouTube, and then that comes in with the normal YouTube income. So some people want to know that, and that's the way it works. It doesn't come directly to me as a separate bit. It all goes into the money that I get monthly from YouTube. So thank you for helping that be a more substantial... Not that it's about the money, but it is very helpful because without income, you just can't sustain things. The income helps sustain the channel. You can use it. You don't have to, I don't think, but I did last week. My daughter's asking if she needs to put an egg in the pancake mix. Do I have any kombucha pumpkins? Nope. Maybe I'll come up with that, but not right now. All right. Hey, Sean, don't worry about it. Those of you who... I know sometimes we talk about the squirrels and where the money goes, but the only reason I talk about where money goes and thanking you guys for that, first of all, it would be really rude to not thank you for supporting the channel. But those of you who don't do the super chats, that's totally okay. I don't do the live shows for that. And Sean, you are a Patreon patron, and I thank you for that too. The patrons, that's a nice consistent amount of money that is separate, that goes into an account that helps me purchase the equipment that I need for the shows. Ronald, I love it when someone out-squirrels me. Now there's a phrase that I thought... No, I never thought that. I never even considered someone saying out-squirrels me. All right. Money, it does matter. I don't like talking about it because people get weird about it. I get weird about it. So thank you for reminding me, Wee Tree Bonsai. If you guys are interested in a wonderful product that's local to me here in Austin, Texas, is the Simply Clean Foods company. They produce not just bananas and strawberries, but their bananas and strawberries are wonderful. This is a freeze-dried food that can sit on your shelf for a very long time before it's opened. After it's opened, it is a fairly small package, so once it's opened, you can go through it pretty quickly and keep that delicious flavor that they offer. It is just a really nice freeze-dried food product. There's a lot of freeze-dried foods that I've had in the past that are, they're okay. They're mediocre, but these are super duper yummy. So if you want to go to simplycleanfoods.net and use the coupon code Daddykirbs, DADDYKIRBS, you can get a discount and a wonderful product. So check them out. All right, kombucha. Let's talk about kombucha. And then we'll talk about some garden seeds and things that I have. So the kombucha, the reason we're talking about kombucha this morning is also because of a video project. It actually might be a video series. I have been, for a long time, looking at the kombucha video that I made, the sort of the intro, overall view of how to make kombucha. It's been a fairly successful video. A lot of people say it's the best kombucha video on YouTube. I don't know about that, but I enjoyed making the video, and I enjoyed the end result. I think it turned out to be a pretty decent video, and so with that in mind, as I go through those comments, and I get a lot of questions, probably at least two or three times a week through different ways. There's Facebook messages through my page, Instagram messages, and just different ways that people find to connect with me, and they want to ask all these kombucha questions, and I love it. But the challenge is I get a lot of the same questions in private messages that I feel obligated to answer, and I hope I haven't disappointed anyone and not answered them, but it is possible that I've missed somebody simply because I get overwhelmed with just a lot of things going on. So what I really need to do is answer the questions in video form, so they're I can just point to them. And so that's what we're going to start doing. I have some kombucha questions that we're going to answer, but the first video that's coming out tomorrow is coming out tomorrow. You guys need to check out the video tomorrow. It is a fun video where Rising Kale Farms is a local farm. The guy who runs that, his name is Robert, and we've become friends. We're not that far apart. I'm pointing over here because that's the direction he lives, is that way. But so he is the guy that was at the New Braunfels Farmers Market. He sets up market every Saturday morning. And he has recently, within the last month or so, couple months maybe, started making kombucha. This is my kombucha, not his. This is actually a finished second ferment. It's delicious. Isn't it delicious? Daddykirbs girl. Isn't it? Oh, yeah. She can jump in.
So,
Tell him how good the kombucha is.
so the flavor Dad used this time was like a light fruit punchy flavor, and it was really good. It complemented the kombucha nicely, so it was almost like tasting just plain kombucha but with a light flavor.
A very light flavor, yes.
Yeah, and he did really good because the carbonation was perfect.
On
And
point.
the second fermentation was perfect. I'm pretty picky about that. I like it fermented less. I don't exactly like the idea of drinking vinegar, and so this one's really nice. It doesn't hurt my throat like vinegar would, and so it's really good. My friend who's never had kombucha came over to last night, and she had a sleepover, and I gave her a little shot of it, and she drank it. She was like, "This is really good." So Dad left a good impression on her with her first kombucha experience.
Nice.
There's my review.
Woo! What a review.
Yeah, 4.5 stars.
She gave herself. Oh, you gave me the 4.5 stars.
Yeah.
Okay, I thought you were giving your review 4.5 stars. I review your review with way more than 4.5 stars. How many stars are there? That was awesome. Thanks for jumping in. I didn't know she was going to do that.
Well, your viewers gotta have something.
Yeah. Hey, look, Off Grid with Doug and Stacy joined the chat. Welcome to the Daddykirbs Farm. It is a homesteading story. By the way, the reason I just did that, there can't be too many secrets, right? Not when we're all family. The Daddykirbs brand has been around for a while. But for the first 70,000 subscribers and 8 years on YouTube, my channel name was Blake Kirby, which is my name. But it was kind of weird. At first it didn't seem so weird because it was just me doing stuff. But as I developed the brand Daddykirbs, it became weird that people couldn't see my channel name as Daddykirbs or something relating to Daddykirbs. When I got to hang out with Doug at the Good of the Land Fest, by the way, if you don't know who Doug is, Doug and Stacy, go check out Off Grid with Doug and Stacy. They have a lot of really cool things going on. A great inspiration for a great number of people. So he was telling me, you know, it's kind of weird that you're double branding. You have Blake Kirby, Daddykirbs. All your art says Daddykirbs. Your channel name is Blake Kirby. There's a disconnect. Maybe you should do something about that. So I started, my wheels started turning. I was even talking with Handyman, Derek over at the Handyman channel. What's that? I don't want anything, thank you. And he was sharing some different things with me about my channel and the videos that I do and the way it's branded and all those things. So I came home and was really thinking about all that. I thought, what is appropriate for my channel name? And I've been, in a lot of my videos, I say, hi, welcome to the Daddykirbs Farm. Well, it makes sense then that my channel name would be Daddykirbs Farm, or at least something like that. But I also wanted it to be something that reflects what the channel's about. So I came up with the very simple approach of saying Daddykirbs Farm dash a homesteading story. And so that's why my channel name changed. That's the story behind what prompted me to really to think about that a lot more and to make that change. So thank you, Doug, for spending that time with me and helping me along there. All right. Scrolling. Every time I look awkwardly, silently into the camera, that's me looking and scrolling. So here I am looking and scrolling. Okay, so Phyllis White says, I just noticed my kombucha video is the best kombucha video, and it got her started watching me. So thank you, Phyllis, for watching, joining, and sticking with me, even on those videos that aren't quite as exciting as the kombucha video. But it's all a journey. It's all a story. It's all part of the patchwork of who we are here on the farm. Wow, you guys are busy chatting. Way behind, way behind. Stacy needs a SCOBY. You know, I shipped some SCOBYs last year, a couple years ago, as an experiment. They were not dehydrated. They were like live SCOBYs. So I put a SCOBY in one of those vacuum seal, like food saver type bags, and I put a cup of starter liquid in there too to keep it all happy. And I sealed it up, sealed one end, put it all in there, sealed the other end, and it was nice and tight. I put it down in a flat rate box and shipped it to a guy we connected on Facebook, I think, and I sent it over to him, and he let me know later that he thought he was going to be sent to like some federal prison. The post office called and let him know that his box was exploding. Oh, it was a mess. It actually didn't break, but what happened was, it's because that kombucha is breathing and it's releasing carbon dioxide, CO2, and it filled that plastic up and broke the box and was pushing out of the ends of the box. And they called him and said, you got to come down to the post office because we're not sure what you just received in the mail. And yeah, they thought it was something terrible, but he ended up getting it. It was just, it's not something that it's not something that should probably be shipped in the mail. That's why they dehydrate them, I guess. Yeah, you know, the decals, let me show you. Ronald mentioned a decal. This is actually Espen's laptop, and he is kind enough to put his daddy's logo on his laptop. I'm gonna make some more, but the reason I'm hesitating right now is because I'm actually in the process of talking with a local artist about changing that up a little bit. It's still gonna be the same message, but the artwork is probably gonna change a little bit. And I am an artist, but I wanted a fresh perspective. And I have a friend, by the way, if you love comic drawings, look up on Instagram Art by Gabe and look at some of his art. He's the local artist I'm talking about. He's my friend, and he had a booth at Comic Con and he does some amazing drawings. So anyway, we're chatting a little bit about, and if you do follow his Instagram, let him know that Daddykirbs sent you. All right, so did Kate? No, Kate didn't leave. All right. Yeah, Doug says, tell them that dozens of people made the same comment. I'm guessing about my channel. Yeah, it was difficult at that event. See, I don't go to a lot of events. One of the benefits of going to those events is you get to feel how people relate to your channel. A few people at the Good of the Land did recognize me, and so they knew who I was. But when I met people who didn't really know who I was, I had to explain. So I was like, my channel name is Blake Kirby. I'm Blake. It's branded Daddykirbs, and there was that instant difficulty. So there were a lot of people, helping me on that journey. Okay. Wow, there's too much chat. I don't know that I'm going to be able to. Oh, so Doug and Stacy, you guys shipped Scobies in flat rate boxes and they didn't blow up or anything? That's weird because, that's the way I thought it was going to work, but it didn't work for me. All right, I may not be able to get oh, there it is. There's the end of the chat. All right. Okay, so the kombucha, the video, I way distracted myself there, didn't I? The video about kombucha coming out tomorrow that I would love for you guys to be there and, watch the video and comment, give your thumbs up because YouTube cares about that. I don't normally follow how many thumbs up I get, but it is a metric that YouTube uses. So if you guys like somebody's videos, give them a thumbs up because that helps YouTube know that something good is going on there. But that video tomorrow is with my friend Robert, who runs Rising Kale Farms, and he started making kombucha a few months ago, and he had questions. Uh-oh, you're yelling, Espen. That's something's going on. He had questions about kombucha, and he said, hey, I just want you to come over and answer some of my questions so I can feel good about that I'm doing this right. I was like, that sounds great. Can I bring a camera? And he said, sure. Actually, Robert is a wonderful personality. He is a hairdresser, and for years he did on-stage presentations of like hairdressing conferences and stuff like that. So he does really well on camera and in person. But yeah, so we took the camera over, Mama Kirbs and I, and Mama Kirbs was running the camera, and I was talking to Robert. We were chatting about the kombucha. He was asking questions like, is it ready? Is the SCOBY healthy? When is it? What's the flavor supposed to be? We tasted some of it, and it was interesting. He was a little scared. Not really. He said he wasn't scared, but he gave a little face when he had to drink the kombucha because he wasn't sure what he was getting into there. So it was a fun video. It was fun to hang out with him and fun to do that question and answer live with somebody who was just asking questions like just off the top of his head about his product. So some of the other kombucha videos that we have in mind are how to make the tea and what tea to use and what kind of sugar to use and how much sugar to use. Now, some of those questions could be answered in that original video, but there were enough people interested in more detail about the tea. So that's something that we're going to answer. And then just some general questions later on about how to store scobies. When is a SCOBY good? When is it bad? What to look for in a SCOBY? And even, is the SCOBY really the SCOBY? That's an interesting that's a very interesting question. So, and I have an answer for that. Oh, so Doug says, heads up, not anymore on the thumbs up or comments. Watch time is what matters. So watch your favorite YouTubers all the way to the end of the video. Comments and thumbs ups to show support. Oh, okay. I thought it was still a metric for YouTube, but Doug's probably a little more in touch with all of that. It is certainly important for, if you have a favorite creator, a favorite content creator on YouTube, the more you watch, the more you are supporting them and the more YouTube elevates their video. I know that for sure. Silent, scrolling. Why can't I see your face as you are talking? Can everyone else see the video? I can see my own video. All right. So do you guys have any questions about kombucha that you want answered? Maybe I can answer some now, and maybe I can record those questions to answer later in the videos that are coming up. I don't know the exact schedule on the kombucha videos or the pumpkin videos that are coming out. Tomorrow is the question answer thing with Robert, and so that will come out. I think I have it scheduled. Anyway, it'll be tomorrow. And then I'm hoping to have kombucha videos coming out maybe every couple weeks. But and the pumpkin video we're finishing shooting that video today because it took me all day yesterday to cook all those pumpkins. And then I put the puree in individual containers and labeled them, and I put the seeds in the bags and labeled them. In that video, by the way, when that one comes out, we're going to do a little giveaway of some of the seeds, just for fun. All right. You guys see me? We have 2 from Singapore here. That's so cool. Read this comment as you have an awkward silence moment. Yeah. The awkward silence moments are probably becoming part of the ritual of the Daddykirbs Farm live show experience. Although, let me add this. Last week, some of you probably noticed this, and I wasn't aware enough to notice this. At least not enough to make a change in the moment. Mama Kirbs was with us last week. Mama Kirbs wanted to share some thoughts, but Daddykirbs couldn't keep his mouth shut long enough for her to jump in. And the reason that happens is because during the live show, I don't generally just run on and on. I don't. If people know me, generally, I have a little bit to say and then I'll shut up and I'm good. But it's a live show. I gotta do something for this show, and I'm trying to give you information and trying to share. And so if there is an awkward silence, that's even why I say awkward silence, scrolling and reading, because I don't want it to be an awkward moment where nobody knows what's going on. So Mama Kirbs last week was sitting with me outside. You can go back and rewatch that. And she kept waiting for an opportunity. And I never gave her an opportunity. And she never bumped me. She never gave me an elbow. She never interrupted me. She was being very polite. So it didn't turn out well for her, to share her thoughts in the show. So after the show, I was like, "What? Why didn't you share anything?" And she was like, "'Cause you never really stopped talking." So we're gonna do better, because now that I'm aware of that, we're gonna have a signal. Maybe an elbow in the ribs, or I'll just turn and to her and wait. Actually, because there were a few times, if you notice, I turned to her and I said, "Hey, what are your thoughts?" But she paused just long enough for me to think that she wasn't going to talk. That's my fault. Totally my fault. I should have picked up on the clues and the cues. All right. Happy says, once the kombucha goes vinegary, do you use that for the next batch with the SCOBY? And the short answer is yes. I put at least 1 cup of starter liquid, and it can be vinegary. When it goes past that stage that you don't want to drink it anymore, it's still something that can be used as the starter for that next batch. So yeah, I put at least 1 cup, preferably a little bit more, in each 1 gallon batch, which my 1 gallon batch is not even a full gallon of kombucha. It's just a 1 gallon jar that ends up being maybe 3/4 of a gallon. So at least 1 cup. Can you handle that, Luke? He needs to push run and then prime and then run again. Luke's on, he's on his tube feed, and every once in a while it gets clogged up. Do you drink kombucha? I do drink kombucha. This kombucha right here is one that's not, I haven't cracked the seal. Let's see if it sounds. Let's see, can you guys hear this? Oh, it's just a little bit. See, the problem with these black lids, because that liner on the inside is no longer there, they're not perfectly sealed. So this container, you can see a little bit of the bubbles coming up. But this container with this lid, if you don't really crank it down, you don't get that perfect seal, although you can see it's bubbling. So it's still good. All right. Kilted Gardner says, admit it, Blake, you're the center of the spotlight. Well, my name is on the channel, but my personality is not really that way. Anyone, what's that? We're a bunch of introverts. Yeah, we're a family of introverts. Anyone that chooses to step up, this is part of my challenge in life, all my life. Anyone that comes ahead and says, I'm going to be the leader, or I'm going to be the expert, or I'm going to be the center of attention, or whatever, I let it happen. I let it happen. And Kate knows, and she says that's why I just interrupt when she's here. She just jumps in, and that's good. That's what needs to happen. Blake, show us the freezer after all the pumpkins are done. I will do that. I'll do that on Instagram. So I don't really want to take the video camera into that room. It's kind of a mess. It's the utility room, so it's not, that's where the freezer is, not someplace I want to take the video camera. But I will open the door and snap a picture of all of the pumpkin, because the way we're finishing those pumpkins is that they're going into baggies, sandwich bags, Ziploc bags, and they're laying flat, and we're stacking them up. So, and then we use those through the year for the dogs. Right now the dogs are getting fresh pumpkin, because as we make it, we just put it on the dog, on their kibble. And yeah, so we'll show you that picture on Instagram. So at Daddykirbs on Instagram. or at Daddykirbs Girl if you want to see cats and horses and all kinds of other fun stuff on the farm.
I'm at 900 followers. Give me 2,000.
She just yelled she's at 900 followers on Instagram. She's hoping for 1,000.
I'm not letting the power get to my head. Don't worry.
With great subs comes great responsibility. Sorry, nerd moment. All right. See, is Luke's tube stopped by French fry? No. No, actually, the food that he's eating right now, it's a blend of food, and the flavor, it comes in packages. The flavor that he's eating this morning is an apple oatmeal blend, and it tends to be a little chunkier than some of the other blends. So that's why it gets kind of stopped up. And he didn't have his therapy this morning, so he's sitting on the couch enjoying his food and watching. You, hopefully you can't hear it, but he's watching the one of the Christmas shows on Netflix. All right. So, have you guys looked at all of the sales and deals on Greenstock? If you go to greenstockgarden.com, they have some amazing deals, and you can get your discount by using the coupon code Daddykirbs. That is a really cool system for patios, small spaces, even if you have a big garden and you just want to grow vertically. It's a beautifully designed vertical container system for gardening. And I would encourage you to go check that out. And if you do happen to purchase, use the coupon code Daddykirbs for your discount. That's the system that we'll be sending to Carl, my brother, who is a science teacher in Southern California. He's doing a pollinator garden. Thanks. He's doing a pollinator garden at the school. So he will be educating the kids through experience of growing flowers and watching the pollinators come in, the butterflies and the bees and all those things. And that vertical system is going to help them grow more flowers in a smaller space. So I look forward to seeing pictures of that. Hopefully he posts those in the Fanily group, which is the closed Facebook group for you guys, the Fanily. Check that out. If you're not there, hopefully somebody will post a link and you can go there, answer the questions when you ask to join, answer the questions, because that's, as Kilter Gardner says, our first layer of troll filtering. And I saw someone ask, what is my daughter's Instagram account? It's at Daddykirbs Girl. All right. Reading your comments. Backyard Gardening says they will join. Thank you. Yeah, so there's the link to the Greenstop. See, I couldn't say it right last week, and now I'm messing it up a different way. I kept calling it a 4-stock and a 5-stock last week because that's how many tiers we were talking about last week. Each level of the garden is called a tier, and I have a 5-tier garden in my garden, a 5-tier vertical garden in there, and we're shipping a 4-tier garden, a 4-stock, to my brother in California, and Kate got one of those as well for her little homestead over here in Texas. Stick around, Sean. We'll have lots of awkward silence. All right, so look forward to the pumpkin and kombucha videos coming up. I am excited to share those things with you. The beekeeping videos, just those of you who are interested, Xavier and others, will be picking up again. Right now it's just kind of in a holding pattern. Like I said, the weather has been not great for beekeeping, so I just observe from the outside to make sure that they're coming and going, and so far all of them are. I was chatting with a beekeeper friend last night, and he was saying, you know, giving an update of his hives. Everything's going well. The bees are bringing in plenty of nectar. And in fact, for some hives, that's been not so good because they're bringing in so much nectar, they're becoming what they call honey bound. And the queen bees don't find any place to lay her eggs, so they end up swarming and leaving. So in even in the winter, it's not really winter here as far as weather, but he is experiencing where he's going out and collecting swarms to put into hives, because at this time of year it's a bad time for bees to swarm up and leave, because they can't, what am I trying to say here? It's a bad time for them to swarm because they will possibly just die because they don't have time to go in and build a hive before the weather gets real bad. So he is trying to collect as many swarms as possible to put into boxes so that he can get them through the winter and use those as colonies. He does a lot of educational hives, and so that's what he's doing. A little bee update from him. His name is Mark, by the way, and actually I know 2 Mark beekeepers local, and they both, one focuses on building apiaries for education. Another one has a bee shop where they also have they produce at the same time actually as my live show. They do live demonstrations and discussions to help people learn about bees in their beekeeping shop. So that's really cool. I don't know why I went on that little tangent, but it was fun. And Tim Huffman here is a beekeeper as well. He does some really cool videos on YouTube. I love helping I love talking about other channels. Can't do it all the time, but for those that I get accustomed to seeing in the Fanily group and here, like Inside Kate's Kitchen, Kilted Gardener, Tim Huffman, you guys check them out. Off Grid with Doug and Stacy, a small homesteading channel. You guys might want to check them out. Support them. Just kidding. I mean, do check them out, but they're not that small. All right. You know what? My tea is almost gone. I think I might crack the kombucha right after I finish the last bit of tea. My apologies for last week and how the show ended. It was not a good ending. The feed dropped off and I couldn't recover, so you guys were probably just sitting there looking at your screens all week waiting for me to come back. I know. Someone says, do I ever sell my honey? That was Veronica. I do locally, and it also is only a limited supply because I don't have that much. I usually get, the last couple seasons, I think I've had 5 gallons or so that I've been able to bottle up and sell locally, so that's a lot of fun. Trish with a squirrel right at the last minute. Thank you so much for being a great friend and supporter of the Daddykirbs Farm. You are amazing. Thank you for bringing in that squirrel at the last minute. All right, guys, I am just really excited. It's been a lot of fun. It's fun for me to share these moments with you. It's like a family reunion every week, and I just am excited to be a part of your story at the same time that you're following along with mine. So you guys have a great week. Look forward to the kombucha video tomorrow. I do want you to check that out because it's a different video because I don't normally go to somebody's place and do just question and answer, but that was a fun opportunity. So I do want you to check that out. Leave your comments in that video, and yeah, everyone has a story, and every story counts. And every story counts because you count. You matter. You matter to me, and you matter in general. I love you guys. I'll talk to you soon. Bye.